Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys have pulled off a blockbuster trade. Quinnen Williams is headed to the Dallas Cowboys in exchange for a second-round pick, a future first-round pick in 2027, and Mazi Smith also heading to New York in this trade. We're going to break down the entire thing for you on today's show. I don't believe we're going to end up getting a push notification on today's video. There's been a lot of coverage here on the Cowboys Report, multiple videos in the past 24 hours. I don't think a push will come on this one. So help us out by sharing today's video on social media, and we'll go in depth on the Quinnen Williams trade here with the blockbuster deal made by Dallas. Here are the full details again. So the Cowboys originally wanted Quinnen Williams as part of the Micah Parsons trade. The Jets said, no, we're not doing that. Now they flip him. Mazi Smith, the defensive tackle, heading to the Jets. The Cowboys' second-round pick this year, and the higher of the Cowboys' 2 first-round picks in 2027. I actually do think not giving up your first-round pick this year is a good thing for Dallas, because there is still a real possibility that this does not turn out great for this particular season. So I think that's actually a good deal for the Cowboys in general. Future picks are valued as one less. You can argue that this is closer to 2 second-round picks for Mazi or for Quinnen Williams. I know the sack numbers haven't been insanely strong, but the pressure numbers have always been pretty good for Quinnen Williams. The run support has always been Quinnen Williams' strength. I think this is one of the best young defensive linemen in the NFL. The Cowboys finding a way to land him should be viewed as a short-term and long-term impact. It's expensive what the Cowboys did, giving up a future first-round pick that'll be the earlier of their picks. Hopefully helps fix your run defense. I think a team that isn't, I was going to say as bad, but gives their team good pass rush chances actually should set them up for some success with better quality pass rush reps, even though that has dipped this year for Quinnen Williams. I do wonder if just the Jets being bad is a key factor in that element. I want you guys to grade the trade for Quinnen Williams. A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know in the comments section of today's show, how do you feel about this trade? I do feel, when they first said it was a first, I was like, oh, God, they should have been a top 10 pick for Quinnen. That's so much. Well, they didn't, potentially. In a way, the Micah Parsons trade now kind of looks like this. Dallas sends out Micah and a 2026 second for Kenny Clark, Quinnen Williams, and a 2026 first. That's kind of like your updated version of the Micah Parsons trade. I think Quinnen is a really good football player. Like, he is a high impact piece who I think can do all kinds of things for you against the run and the pass. He doesn't turn 28 until early December, I believe. He's young still for defensive line age. He's talented. He's been good for a long time. I get that the pressures have kind of dipped the last couple of weeks. Some of those pass rush rep qualities were not exactly good. I think he's an awesome football player. I feel better that they did not move their own first-round pick this year. This is expensive, though. That you kept your 2 firsts this year, I think actually is maybe like the best part of the entire thing. More to come on this trade, but today's show is made possible by PrizePicks. The hard-hitting football action is even better with PrizePicks. The weather might be changing, but the feeling of being right never gets old. Keep the season rolling on PrizePicks by getting $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. PrizePicks is the only app that offers stacks. Pick the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup. You want more on Josh Allen, pass yards, rush yards, touchdowns? You can do it in the PrizePicks app. Also, check out the feed tab. You can follow PrizePicks players directly there and copy the lineups in one simple click. The 2-pick power play is as follows. Caleb Williams, more than passing yards. Jackson Dart, more than passing yards, which those defenses have not been very great in particular. So go download the PrizePicks app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. It's good to be right. Links in the comments and the description of today's show. Appreciate James Yoder doing the Quinnen Williams Cowboys Big Cam edit for us. We'll get some better ones, I'm sure, as things go along here. Dallas aggressive here, and probably not good enough to do what they want to do this season, but they've added 2 players who could, and at least one who will, be on the team next year. And that probably should not be overlooked with this addition of Quinnen Williams. It's not just about 2025. It's not. I had said, do players who are available multiple years. I had said, do the 2 for Quinnen. Well, they kind of did the 2 for Quinnen. They're doing a first as well. Mazi is a throw-in. Best of luck in New York, buddy. Hopefully you can figure things out. Not going to cheer against you, but, is what it is. Give me your one-word reaction. Then I want to spend time. I'll break down the contract stuff and what this means for the rest of the Cowboys defensive linemen here. One-word reaction to this trade. Let me know in the comments section of today's show. This is where the Cowboys defensive tackle depth chart sits currently. I am very curious how they try to deploy Quinnen Williams and Osa and Kenny Clark together. Long-term, big picture, I do wonder if this Cowboys team are going to keep Quinnen and Osa and Clark together. From a monetary perspective, all 3 guys are owed over $20 million next year. I don't think they're going to keep all 3. Maybe they'll keep doing some more of those 5-man front looks this year and put out Quinnen and Osa and Kenny Clark all together. That might actually be a viable thing for the Cowboys as they move forward and utilize some more 5-man fronts to be creative. You saw more of that last night against the Arizona Cardinals. But Kenny Clark is easily cuttable next year. I would not be surprised if one of Osa or more likely Kenny Clark are on the chopping block in the offseason. Probably not right now, but in the offseason, that would not be a surprise to me. We've got all the Cowboys coverage you could want right here. We will have another post-trade deadline update for you. Maybe Dallas isn't done. We're obviously live on the channel as well right now. Hit that sub button if you haven't already done so. Couple quick notes here on the contract side I want to mention for you. Quinnen is owed the prorated figure of a little under $17 million, so it's like around $8 million that the Cowboys are going to pay him, somewhere in that ballpark there, to reunite with his OD line coach, Aaron Whitecotton. Base salary-wise and roster bonuses next year, he's owed about $21.75 million in 2026, and he's owed $25.5 million in 2027. The Cowboys can restructure his contract next year to save $14.65 in cap space if they so choose. An extension could certainly be in the cards for Quinnen long-term as well, but this is not just about 2025. This is about 2026 and 2027 and beyond. Do you like the trade? Y for yes, N for no. Let me know in the comments section of today's show. Do you like the trade? Then we'll spend a little bit more time breaking down Quinnen Williams and what he brings to the Dallas Cowboys. But sound off for me in the comments section of today's show. Do you guys like the trade for Quinnen Williams as Dallas makes a big-time impact move here to add a high-end, very talented defense tackle? Y for yes, N for no. A couple more thoughts here. I do get anxious about trading away premium draft picks. You can't draft in the second, though, outside of Ezeraku, so, whatever. I like keeping both your first-round picks this year. That does matter to me. I think, in general, this team being able to retain those picks is key. You might be drafting top 10, top 15 still. So I'm glad they did not trade their first-round pick this year. they still have a first-round pick next year. Keeping 3 of them, I do think, is pretty impactful for the Cowboys. Jerry's getting aggressive. We'll see if it pays off. But I will say, final thought here, I do appreciate the Dallas Cowboys at least trying. Now, if it works out, great, but they have this window of opportunity with Dak Prescott under contract for several years. Not playing the middle ground is actually probably a better idea for the Dallas Cowboys. So hopefully it works out. We'll see what the long-term outlook looks like for the defensive tackles moving forward, but Cowboys add a big-time player at the 2025 NFL trade deadline in Quinnen Williams.